What's going on, family? Dave Jones here and Uncle Cal. What's going on, sir?
What's up, brother?
And we're here to make it happen today. And today we got a good one because we're going to be talking about being prepared for the new year coming up. We got one quarter left, but we're going to get a jump on the game. Let's get it.
Uncle Cal and Dave Jones are the hosts of the show. We living in some difficult times, as most of us know. Let's lift each other up and put down the stress. If you didn't know, the name of the show is called Rap.
It's a wrap. Wittily respond as people should. And we're going to come in here and just kick it. Me and Cal was talking the other day and trying to think of the best things to give that we can sit down and talk to each other, communicate each other, and try to cover each other through these seasons. And we were thinking like, man, the new year is coming up. And so many times we hit the new year start, January 1 with the New Year's resolution. And we hit them like, oh, we're going to do A, B, and C and D. And we, and you know how it happened. It never seems to work out as planned. I'm gonna be honest. I had so many New Year's resolutions in my life that I didn't stick to. But today we're gonna get a jump on the game, and we want you guys to kind of maybe just, if you can, if it makes sense to you, listen to us, kind of kick it about it, and see what we can do to actually help each other up, to give us the right mindset, to have preparation. And we got this last quarter. We got one quarter, 3 months that we can be ready to actually start executing, as opposed to just talking about, I'm going to figure it out when it comes.
Right.
That's not how it gets done. We got to get in there. All right, bro, let's jump in, man.
For sure, man. And, this is a great topic, man, because I think this is why a lot of us have insecurities as far as moving forward when it comes to actually succeeding in things we're trying to do, because we just do this tuck and roll type of mentality where we just decide we're going to wake up today and change our diet, or we're going to jump out here today and start a business, and it just don't work like that. In the Bible, it says, write the plan and make it plain. And in the streets, we call it, make a plan or plan to fail. So we sit around and we chat about, a couple of days before the new year, or, New Year's Eve, and we kick it about things that we want to do or what our plans is for the new year, but we ain't prepared for it. We ain't, did nothing to prepare for what's to come. And then you say, okay, I'm going to cut carbs. And it's like, but you had, peach cobbler for your New Year's dinner. So now you go in, you got leftover peach cobbler going into the new year, and you talking about you about to cut carbs and stop. So a lot of times we set ourselves up for failure, not knowing, because we just think that being disciplined and just making our minds up that we're going to stop something is just that easy. And it's just like, you almost got to get that stuff away from you to make sure that you don't even have an option to go on that route. So, and it's just like that, even in business, you got to prep for stuff. You got to write it down. You got to get a full understanding on everything that's going to take, highs and lows, costs versus profit, and different things, to move forward in anything you're trying to do that's successful. Marriage or relationship, what are some of the things you're going to look at yourself that you need to fix in yourself, that you messed up in the last relationship, or things that the last 3 dudes or the last 3 women been complaining about, when you going to actually take time to say, dang, it's something familiar, going on here, because the last 3 people I was with been complaining about my attitude, or, they say I don't clean enough, I ain't clean enough, or whatever your situation is, people have a tendency to look over, the things that they need to address, because they just think they be in their own mess, so they don't want to address the things that they need to address. But if you having an issue and you having something that's beating you up, at some point you got to stop and look in the mirror and say to yourself, okay, well, maybe I need to start paying more attention. And that's one of my things, man. I think that, I kind of do that too much, but it helps me because it holds me at a high standard to make sure I accomplish things, and I try to work on becoming a better me. I put these hard, mandates on myself, and I'm my biggest critic. That way, I can see improvement in myself. I don't want to be that guy that everybody say, man, oh, well, he can talk it and tell us what he think, we need to do to move forward. But if I ain't living it, it's just like, it's hard to, respect. And I think that's a lot of stuff that's going on with the church and different people that's, call themselves motivational speakers, or different things that's going on. They have these scandals, these weird scandals and things that come out that make people say, man, the fake is the new real. People talk real, but then they're doing so much fake stuff behind the scenes it's like it's hard to respect anything anybody talking about nowadays. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's interesting. I always like to take a look at myself as we do at times, and when we talking about being resolute and trying to figure out how do we become better versions of ourselves. We usually look at the new year as an opportunity to get a fresh start, almost like a new day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but even in the process, if I don't boil it down back to the day, like I want my tomorrow to be better, it's the power in preparing for my tomorrow. We can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep with this negative attitude, this negative anger, and that's inside of me, and expect my day tomorrow to be better just because I wake up. I think there is wisdom, or there's wisdom in just understanding how we work as mechanisms, bro. It's like, whatever we're planning in our brains, whatever we're pondering in our brains now is set up for what our immediate future is going to be. And so if you want to have a better day tomorrow, if I want to have a better day tomorrow, I got to figure out how to get over my feelings. My brother said something like this. He said, we got to learn how to think better than we feel. I got to
Mm.
figure out how to take my mind and get over what I'm feeling right now and think about what it is that I want to be better at, or what it is that I want to do, or what it is that I need to overcome, and see what's the benefit in that, and actually see that in my mind so that I can be prepared to go into the next day already with the momentum. You know what I'm saying? I've been going on. And when we're talking about taking advantage of these last 3 months of the year to be prepared for the resolution, it's like we have to go through a series of questions that we honestly got to be honest with ourselves. It's like many of us, and it took me many years to be honest with you, have to identify what it is that we want to build or what it is that we want to become. Like we have to know what it is that we want in order to prepare for it. And there is no real anticipation to expect that things will change when we haven't identified the target that we're going to be resolute about. Like how is it, or what is it that I am going to do differently? What is it that I am going to build, that I am expecting to do some research, some preparation, to start the execution, so when this new day, this new year come, I can qualify to start seeing a transition in my life.
Right.
Not just wishing, you know what I'm saying, fake praying and hoping. There's the execution side that is necessary, but even before I execute, I have to be clear on what it is I'm doing. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good. And it's funny you went off into talking about negative thoughts and and just thinking negatively. When you wake up in the morning, when you started off talking, because I was kicking it with some of the fellas yesterday, man, and a couple of them got to talking about one thing or another, and I'm just like, hey, bro, going into the new year, I don't want to be a part. I don't want to be a part of nobody's conversation. You know what I'm saying? As far as
Mhm.
anything negative, so I'm trying to stop. I'm trying to kill it now. And a lot of times,
Love
man,
that.
you
I
don't
love
be
that.
gossiping, but a person will come lay something on you because they're dealing with something, and they just want your opinion on it, or they just need somebody to talk to. But then they coming off talking about somebody else in a negative way, and then you go to entertaining the conversation, and you falling off into negativity because you trying to basically console, or just what I'm saying, communicate with a person that
Hmm.
came to talk to you about
Hmm.
something. But if you had any type of negative reaction with this person that they're talking about, it automatically makes you think about something you went through. So now you totally engaging in this negative conversation that you may not even wanted to talk about, or wasn't going to talk about,
Right.
and you find yourself right in it. So I just been trying to start really just cutting stuff out the root. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling
100%.
my guys, listen, bro, I'm trying to speak light into brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bring out, because I'm sure I could sit here and tell you the same way you came to me talking about this other guy we cool with. I can tell you some things I really don't care for about you. And I'm sure you can go sit with him, and y'all can talk about some things y'all don't care about concerning me. But at
That's
the end of the
good.
day, what I'm saying, if we all do away with just talking about each other and just, looking in the mirror and addressing our own issues, because what's
Man,
understood really don't need to be talked about, because anything we talking about, you're dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? I know, what I'm saying, when I'm frustrated, what I'm saying, my attitude will come off a little sharpy, and I you know what I'm saying, I get it snapping. But God gave me some revelation last week because I found myself, man, I had an inspection coming up. I got a 5-man crew over here working, and they really can't do the work without me, kind of pinpointing where everything need to go, because it's like they don't know what they're doing, but I got the help. And it's hard to find help right now. So when you get it, you got to capitalize on it, because people just don't want to work. So, in the middle of me getting frustrated while I was working, God stopped me. He was like, right when I was in the middle of getting frustrated, starting to snap, and God just checked me. Like, you want to be better. You know what I'm saying? So you got to quit failing these tests. So I'm like, you're right, God, let me catch this before I go so far off into it. Then I'm just all in a bad mood. And now I'm handling the whole business, in a bad manner, not with the right attitude. So then as I checked myself and grabbed myself back out of, getting snappy, God said frustration, is a result of no organization, of no organization.
Mm-hmm.
So frustration in most cases come from not being organized, whether it be, in whatever it is you're doing, trying to clean up, you're trying to get it organized, you frustrated because frustration comes from no organization.
Mm-hmm.
So God was showing me that, and I was like, wow. When he gave me that revelation while I was, I kept repeating it to myself all day while I was working. And I'm like, yeah, I'm frustrated and taking it out on these guys because I'm so unorganized, and I'm paying these guys to work. But there's other things I'm trying to do that I can't go do because I got to stand here with them because they don't know what to do with all this stuff. I'm trying to get organized, and I'm mad at them because I can't turn them loose to do this work so I can go do something else. Right. So I'm mad at them about something that they totally can't control. That's my issue, but I'm frustrated because I'm stuck there doing it when I need to be in a good place because it's bringing about organization.
Right.
When God gave me that revelation, like, frustration is a result of no organization. And I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? That's good, because if you think about people, most people that's mad and frustrated, it comes from something in their life that's not right, not in order.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm like, wow, that was deep, God. You know what I'm saying? And I just started thinking about every time I was frustrated or different things I get frustrated about. And I'm like, I'm right. I'm like, yeah, it comes from me being overwhelmed, taking on too much, stuff not in order, and it puts me in a frustrating spot. So I'm saying all that because we bring it back around the corner.
Yeah.
Going into the new year, we got to ask ourselves, are we doing too much, like we was talking about on the last show? Are we doing too much to where we're not putting our focus in the area totally where we need to put it in, to the point where we're not pulling out everything in something to the point where we can see the manifestation of it, to where we taking it to its fullest extent, to where we finishing it, everything organized, we didn't cross all our T's and dotted all our I's, and now we seeing the manifestation of it because we did everything right in order. Then we moving on to something else, or we doing like what we saying in the last show, where this ain't working out fast enough for us because we ain't write it down, we ain't structure it right, we ain't get it all in order. So we gonna put this on pause and jump over here and start this over here. Now you got a bunch of unfinished situations that you ain't done, to where now you starting to look at yourself to say, wow, man, am I even good at this?
Right.
Yeah, you're good at this. What you're not good at is being focused.
Yeah.
So going into the new year, what we're going to do is we're going to slow down a little bit, people. We're going to focus on one thing, and we're going to take that thing and max it all the way out. We're going to do everything we need to do.
Yes, sir.
Write the plan down, even if it's something that we already doing or have done that we want to get back to and that we ain't finished, or we know we didn't give it our all. We're going to go back to that thing. We're going to pick up. We're going to look at everything that we ain't do right in it and fix it, and then we're going to push back into it to get it all the way there. And when you got that thing to where that thing is doing everything it need to be, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's your diet, like working out. I worked out for years, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, I hit a plateau where I wasn't getting the results I wanted no more because I didn't have a diet implicated in it. You know what I'm saying? And then when I started implicating the diet in it, I started seeing more results. And see, I'm saying that to say that's just a small example of what we do as people. We want to go in, think we get on a treadmill for 30 minutes or an hour, then we go hit the weights for 30 minutes or an hour, then we supposed to come out looking like, you know what I'm saying, the Hawk or the Rock. You know what I'm saying? And no, but you ain't doing the diet. So
Mhm.
if you won't do something, if we're gonna do something, people going into the next year, we're gonna make sure we take our time. We're gonna start now. We're gonna be ready to execute come the new year, and we're gonna push all the way through from start to finish. And then when we get to the point where we're not sure if something ain't right or we stagnant on something, we're gonna go back to what we wrote down, and we're gonna say, oh yeah, okay, I gotta get this part. And then that way it's gonna bring a fulfillment in us because we gonna understand that, dang, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? My problem was lack of following all the way through. And then when that thing start making money and it's producing and doing whatever it need to do, when that diet start producing, you losing that weight, you starting to see them cuts. When that relationship, you know what I'm saying, and you smiling more, and that person you going home to smiling, or you dating smiling more, and it ain't no dry tension, and you giving the results that you need to give, and you getting back what you need to get back out that relationship, and that diet and that exercise routine and that business, then we gonna say it's time to move on to the next thing. But we're not gonna keep dropping the ball on things halfway through, and okay, it's making enough money to pay a bill, so now I can move on to the next. You ain't start this business just to pay a bill. You
Right.
started this business so you could possibly sit down and decide if you even want to do something else, or if you want to sit still and ride this thing out because you don't want to be
Right.
overwhelmed.
There's so many great points that you had in there. I mean, I am hearing, and this is what I had to determine for myself, is that we literally have to decide again what we are going to build or what we are going to become. You got to do a self audit. And when I say build something, think of a building. Like, think of something that takes more than just 20 minutes. Think of something that is going to take our work, our mastery, our frustration, our dedication, our commitment. When you're building something, we have this, sometimes we can fall into this mentality. Things supposed to be immediate. We're supposed to get the full story and a full understanding of a lesson as fast as we can look at a Facebook post. You know what I'm saying? Like, life don't work. That don't translate to real life. Like, when we decided is we got to identify if we want to build those things like the marriage, the business, ourselves. Like, we have to picture, and this is what I'm doing in my life. I have to picture the end goal and give my brain and an assignment to work towards to solve the problems on the way there. And again, I'm telling myself, I think in not days, I think in decades. And when you start to think in decades, that allow us to do what you just said, bro, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the fastest way to build it, I said this last time, the fastest way to build anything is to build it slow. And that doesn't mean like, you know what I'm saying, go slow.
Procrastinate.
That don't mean
Right.
procrastinate. That
Right.
means to stay focused and committed to it. And
Mhm.
don't think you can get it knocked out in 24 hours. Like,
Right.
if I'm trying to build myself, I have to be patient with myself. I have to allow myself to make mistakes in this relationship if I'm trying to love a person right. I have to allow myself to make mistakes in the development of this business if I'm trying to learn the skill set and mastery of organizing systems and automating processes. There are things that I do not know that I will learn if I just use the snowball effect of matriculating or gathering this stuff, so that if you ask me about how things are going a month from now, I'll be much further or much better.
Mm, mm.
So we have to be patient with ourselves, because this is not a conversation about capability. Everybody that's listening to me, even I say this to myself, God has designed you in a way that you can produce and you can solve any problem that you're facing, any pain that you are facing. You have built within you the mechanisms to solve it. You are capable. It's how do we know how to be patient with ourselves and use the intelligence that God has given us, either through connection with people or either us through studying, and figure out how to put that information and energy in the thing that we build in or become. Sorry about that.
Right.
Into the thing that we're building or becoming. And so when we're talking about, so we can kind of start giving you guys some points here, it's like the first thing I'll say, and you can jump in after this, bro, is to write down what you are building or what you are becoming. It has to have an image that is clear to you, so you can start taking ownership of that name, of that thing. If you're building a house, Write it down. If you're building a business that's going to make $1 million a year and solve this problem for your customer, it has to be written down. If you're going to become a better wife, a better husband, and you have to write it down. What does this look like? That means I'm doing this as that husband. That means I'm doing that. If you want to lose weight or eat healthy, I want to be this weight by this time. Like, it has to be very specific, because the way we work, we have to have a navigating direction to go to. If there is no direction that we're going, any distraction is acceptable, because we don't have a target. And it's impossible for God to help. It's impossible for me to help you. It's impossible for you to help me, bro. If I'm not saying this is what I'm trying to do, hold me accountable. So step one is write it down. What are you building or becoming? And if you don't have that, you cannot be upset about where your life is not. We cannot be upset about us not getting what we don't know what we want.
Man, that's so good, man. And one last thing, man, and I should pretty much wrap on my end. If you got something else to say.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing is, man, procrastination, man. You got to get out of this comfortability. You know, you got to shake yourself up. You got to get to. All of us have greatness in us. You got to get to a place where you just push yourself to make that first move. So many people have gotten a place of contentment to where that's a lot of people's biggest problem. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They so scared of failing that they don't even want to try. So you just got to shake yourself up. I'm one of them guys, man. Let me fail. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't never been no person to sit around and talk about people and laugh about nobody's shortcomings. No way. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Nothing. I got it. So I don't worry about failing. I come up being a failure. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can't nothing to me personally. Can't nothing happen for me worse than my childhood. So it ain't nothing for me to try something. My problem is like trying too much.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that to say, because I see a lot of people with a lot of potential, and they just don't try. I see a lot of people with natural God-given talent.
100%.
Like this stuff, you be like, man, you did that, or you know what I'm saying, you drop a quarter in a jar and a bum go to singing, and you like, man, you got that type of voice in you. So it's just like a lot of us, man, we got talents that we can capitalize on.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? You just don't do nothing with it. And that'd be the very thing that you need to do, because it come easy to you. You enjoy doing it, but you won't capitalize on it, but you're complaining about the situation you in financially. So we just got to make that move. We got to get out of this comfortable mode we in and make a move.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Like I say, 4 little points, and I'm going to leave you with something, because a lot of us are in a season of isolation where we don't have anybody connect to, anybody that's guiding us to give that synergy. I thank God for people like Cal in my life. If I'm going through, I get to call him, say, bro, and just be open and vulnerable and transparent. Like, this is where I'm at. Can you speak into my life right now? You know what I'm saying? And so if you're in a situation where you don't have that person, I would encourage you to try to look and ask God, and just keep your mind open, because there are a lot of people who seem like they would be distant. They're in the same position that you're in. You follow what I'm saying? And we have to be the love that we need sometimes, and take that risk of being vulnerable to somebody that feels like God may be connecting us to, because he hears the cries that we have in this process. So really, a couple of the points is, first, you have to write it down. Whatever you're trying to build or become. If you don't write down what you're trying to build or become and being resolute about, there's no way you're going to get it, period, point blank. There's nothing you can do. You can be hyped. You can be motivated. It ain't happening. Then you got to write the plan. What are my execution? What's my strategy? What am I going to do day by day? As soon as you can take a vision and narrow it down to an hourly plan of action, you are serious. And that's that scripture, bro, that you related to. It said, write the vision, then make it plain. What am I going to do? So that whoever read it, you and your team, y'all can run. We can go, because we know where we're going, right? And then be patient with yourself. That was something that Cal told me. It's like, man, we all got to be patient with ourselves, because frustration and failure is a part of this process. So because we fall, because I fall, because I make a mistake, because I have a bad day, and I assess my day like, man, I didn't do nothing or whatever. Like that's part of the process. That's why God gave us another day, right? And if we don't beat ourselves up about those days when we aren't as effective, we could say, I'm going back in there. Nope, I'm trying to make this new thing that I'm doing my home, my habit, my new behavior. So I got to keep telling my brain, I'm not giving up on this relationship. I'm not giving up on this business. I'm not giving up on whatever it is that I said that I was going to produce. Right. And then lastly, have a date of completion, because a date is necessary for you to start. It eliminates the procrastination, and it's a date that has accountability attached to it. So sometimes you got to tell somebody, this is what I'm trying to produce, and this is when I'm trying to produce it. And then I want you to hold me accountable to this. I'm giving you permission to basically check my progress, right? And with grace, right? Because I still got to become who I am, and it still is a battle. But with grace, can you check up on me, help me with my energy, and help sure I'm staying focused on the thing that I'm trying to produce? If you do those 4 things, you'll be much further than a lot of us just making these fake resolutions, or just being motivated, or just wanting better, but never put an executable plan into place. And last thing I'm going to leave you with, for those who want to go further, next week, Monday, I am starting what we call a self-identity challenge. And this is specifically for the people who don't know who they are and need help identifying what they are becoming. Because there are a lot of people that I talk to, a lot of clients, like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to become. And this was a season that I was in my life where I wanted to nail down the thing that I was mastering. And because some of us are so gifted, we're all over the place, that we never make the decision to build the thing to mastery and really dominate in a certain area, so that we can have the opportunity to dabble in the various creative mindsets that we have. And so a self-identity challenge, what we're doing is a 3-day challenge where we're doing an hour a day, 2 hours a day. If you want to have feedback and question, it's a training about how for you to identify exactly who you want to be. And so we walk you through a framework so you can figure out who it is that you are going to decide to become. You know what I'm saying? And make that decision and go with an imperfect action to execute on a thing that we've accumulated as identify. At least this is within me, and this has been calling me. So you're going to identify what's been calling you, and then you're going to make a decision to go into it. And so somewhere we'll put in here a link to something, or you could DM on the platform that you want to say that you're interested in that. But those are things, if you want to help other than just this generic training and conversation that hopefully would touch and plant a seed in your mind, that God can use for you to get you to that next level, man. We can make it happen, baby.
Yeah, amen, man. I appreciate you, man. And real quick, man, I done had a lot of people reaching out to me, man, since we started this, man, and just I give them my unbiased opinion, man. And I appreciate people, watching us, what I'm saying, having faith in us, believing in us, and just, encouraging and praying for us to keep going, and reaching out and asking for my opinion, and yours, Dave, too, because a lot, what I'm saying. And I had one of my nephews call me the other day, and he was just saying, Unc, I didn't watch you for years, man, and it's hard, man, in my crew, to really listen to none of my fellas, because they talk a certain talk, but I look at their actions and they ain't living it.
Right.
The fact that I can listen to you and call and get sound advice, then I look at your life and it reflect what you say. What I'm saying? I think that's big. I think that's why a lot of people running from churches, and like what you were saying, Dave, accountability partner. If you ain't got somebody that you can that can help hold you accountable, you need to start looking around at your circle and get rid of some people, because you need some people that's going to help hold you accountable, that you can hold accountable, that want to see you win, and that's going to, encourage you and stay on top of you, like you say, and impact imperfect action, not to just be beating you up like, man, you playing, man, you ain't trying. You need somebody, hey, man, how you coming with that?
Yeah, he got a call here. See if he could jump on here.
Yeah, so I'm sorry about that. So you got to just make sure, you got the right people around you that's going to hold you accountable and want to see you win, because that's important too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's very important, just to make sure you got the right people cheering and rooting you on, because man, listen, I ain't got a hating bone in my body, and I don't want nobody around. Hey, I'm so far. Hey, God made me so unhateable that, hey, bro, listen to this. I know that ain't no word. Hey, listen, God made me so unhateable.
Unhateable.
I hater from a while away when they walk up. I'm like, oh, no. Hey, I'm gone, man. I holler at y'all. I'm out of here. I can smell a hater, man.
Right. Yes, sir, Doc.
Like a dead rat in the
Yeah, yes, sir. Man, that's so good, bro. I like being unhateable too. You can't hate on me.
I'm so unhateable.
I'm so unhateable.
When a person walk up with some bad energy and some hating vibes, I'm like, all right, man, it's good seeing y'all. I'm gone.
Man,
I know all the 30 signs.
Bro, all of them. Bro, I swear, hey, bro, that's a topic, man. We need to kick it on that, bro. Like, it's, man, to protect that energy. Like, I'm solid, bro. I'm unhateable.
Oh, yeah.
No hate this way, brother. Yeah. Put a caution sign. No hate.
Yeah. One of your nostrils tooted up too much to the left.
Right.
I'm gone.
like you got the eyebrow up. Like, let me see. I can see your thoughts, my man. Is there something hate about to come out of there?
Yeah, I don't like the way your top lip shape and your eyebrow cocked too much on one side. I'm out of here.
Man, ain't that a place to be though, bro? Like, I swear, man. Like, I love it. I ain't even about to go deep. That's a lesson, bro. Yeah, that's a kicking session, bro. All right, man.
All right, love you, baby.
Love you too, man. All right, willingly responded as people should. I hope this blessed somebody, man. Share it if it helped you some degree. Go back, take some notes, man. We doing this for you guys because we know God is going to use us to kind of communicate and answer some of them prayers that we all been having, man. We need each other. We love y'all, and it's a wrap. Baby.
It's a wrap, baby.
I'm Cal and Dave Jones are the host of the show. We living in some difficult times, as most of us know. Let's lift each other up and put down the stress. If you didn't know, the name of the show